Hey, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Coffee with Kenobi Facebook Live. I am your host, Dan Z. Excited to share May the 4th be with all of you. May the 4th be with you, everybody. Happy Star Wars Day. I started my Star Wars Day amazingly. You may have seen it on Facebook and on Twitter, but my son Mason, of course, who everybody knows, Mason Z, he ran into our room and jumped on the bed and woke me up and said, Daddy, happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Parenting done right, I'm saying. Again, I am your host, Dan Z. Excited to be with you. Sorry for the delay. I am a couple of minutes late. There's a good reason, though. The reason is, hello, everybody. Saying hi to everybody. Good to see all of you, of course. Blake, nice to see you. Got the Celebration Chicago shirt. Well, Blake, that's actually a perfect transition because I have a special guest that's here in the studio, and he is a big Star Wars fan, a first-timer on Facebook Live, but joining me is...
Mason Z.
Mason Z. Mason is also wearing his Chicago shirt. Come on up here, buddy, where everybody can see you. So, Mason, tell us how your fourth of blah blah. I'm so excited to see you. It's like I haven't seen you in like 10 seconds. How is your 4th today? How's your May the 4th be with you day?
Great.
Yeah? Tell me what you did.
Fun Star Wars stuff.
Fun Star Wars stuff. So what did you do that was fun Star Wars stuff?
I dressed up like George, and I dressed up like Kylo Ren.
Yes, he dressed up like Kylo Ren today for our remote learning. I had this Star Wars shirt on, and Mason had his Kylo Ren costume on. And then we played some Battlefront today, right? He did some cool Star Wars pictures. And also what he did, something that we did for his first time, it was just before started. That's why we're a couple minutes late, so again, apologies for that. But tell everybody what you watched for the very first time.
Revenge of the Sith.
He watched Revenge of the Sith. So, how was it?
Great.
Yeah? How would you say it compares to all of your Star Wars movies?
My favorite one.
Your favorite Star Wars movie? How come?
Because Darth Vader.
Darth Vader, too. What was the most exciting part for you?
I didn't have one.
No? What about all the lightsaber stuff?
That was cool.
Yeah. What was more exciting, Anakin versus Obi-Wan or Palpatine versus Yoda?
Palpatine versus Yoda.
Palpatine versus Yoda was pretty intense. Oh, no. He did dress like George, Tyler, but not George Lucas, Curious George, right? Or was it George Lucas?
Curious George.
Curious George, yes. So it was pretty cute stuff, yes. So, Mason, what do you want to tell everybody about Revenge of the Sith? What surprised you the most? We did talk a lot about it. We did prepare a lot for it, of course.
Nothing surprised me.
Nothing surprised you. You're just a calm Jedi. Does it make you more sad that Anakin turned bad after watching all the Clone Wars episodes? No? You just were ready for action? Very good. I think you should come on Coffee with Kenobi like you've done for all the movies and talk about your experiences. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, tell everybody May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
All right. Thanks, buddy. All right, go have some cake.
What? Ooh, yay.
So, thanks, everybody. That was so fun. That was so much fun having Mason on. He was so excited about being on Facebook Live, and I'm excited to be with you to celebrate Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Seen a lot of great stuff in the comments here. The final Clone Wars episode, yes. Actually, that's what kind of prompted this. Of course, Mason has been watching Season 7 of the Clone Wars with all of us on Disney+. And, of course, the last 4 episodes have been so integral to the story of Revenge of the Sith. And so I think that kind of got his courage up. He's now seen every Star Wars movie except for Rogue One, which is really, really cool. But it's always very thrilling as a parent to experience that with your kids for the first time, for sure. Yeah, it does. Revenge of the Sith does. It's very, very, very powerful. Extremely powerful. It's, as I've always said, it's really, really Shakespearean. Really Shakespearean. But that's more, we'll talk about that a little bit more, of course. Yes, the Clone Wars had an incredible ending. I would say this one and Shattered, Episode 3 of The Siege of Mandalore, as Tom Gross, our CWK newsman, always says, it had me holding my breath. It's very intense, very exciting, really, really powerful stuff. I mean, unforgettable. I'll try to show you Actually, I'll post this later on Coffee with Kenobi social media. But we did besides watching Revenge of the Sith and playing some Battlefront, and of course I had some teaching today. Did some remote learning with my students. We did a lot of great stuff online. There's a lot of stuff on the website. Lisa was an MVP today, so thank you so much, Lisa Dillard, for all of your hard work and great help making Coffee with Kenobi what it is online. It just can't do it without you, so thank you for that. Corey and I worked a little bit on some stuff that we're going to do a little bit later in the show, which was great. And Corey, of course, is the MVP as well. And then I went and we got a special cake to celebrate May the 4th. I've been wanting to do this for years, but I thought it would be extra fun and special for Mason and all of us. So I got a cake. I'll try to show you on my phone what it looks like. I'll post a picture of it. But it's a cake that says, May the 4th be with you. There you go. Has little stars on it, stuff like that. So after tonight, well, of course, Lisa, thank you so much. After the show tonight, I'm going to have myself some May the 4th be with you cake. You know, I can't really beat that. Blake says, the last minute of today's episode might be one of my top moments in Star Wars ever. Yeah. And I'm really proud of everybody here at Coffee with Kenobi and our Coffee with Kenobi family because we weren't spoiling this. There's some great stuff that happens at the end of the brand Clone Wars, and I would have been really devastated if someone ruined that for me, and I'm glad I was able to partake of that so much. Just very, very powerful stuff. All right. Season finale of Clone Wars, the interview with Ashley Eckstein was great. Really appreciate her input on Ahsoka's character development. Yes, thank you, Carrie. Thank you for joining us, of course, each and every week, and thank you for bringing up Ashley's interview. I had the good fortune to talk with Ashley Eckstein last week, and that was perfect because I wanted to release it today, this morning, so that you could get some input from Ashley right away after watching the finale of Clone Wars. Yeah, thank you. I can't wait to try it, Minta. I bet it's really, really good. And Minta had some really cool images today on our CWK cafe for sure with some great stuff that she did for May the 4th. Yes, awesome cake. Thank you, Marie. If I could cut a slice for all of you, I'd be happy to do it. The animated Clone Wars was the first Star Wars movie I took my oldest daughter to at the movie theater. Really, Brian? Oh, that's cool. Wow. How about that? That show has come a long way, as has your daughter, of course, which is so cool. And she's, of course, attends a school where I am proud to be an educator, and it's been a tough year, but it's okay. I think we've really bonded together, and things like this awesome Star Wars community have helped so very much. So, what do you say? I hello. Well, hey Adam, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Happy 4th to you too, my friend. Ashley's interview was outstanding. She's had so many heartfelt moments online. Say, oh, she really has. She really is a legitimate, sincere, awesome person. Aaron, may the 4th be with you, my friend. Another former student of mine, Aaron. Very good. I'll tell you what. Your Star Wars comments are coming in beautifully, so let's just go ahead and jump right in to our top 5, right? As promised, we're going to talk about our top 5s. The top 5 things that we're talking about today on Coffee with Kenobi are the top 5 things we love about Star Wars. Again, I'm your host, Dan Z. Happy to join you here on Facebook Live on Coffee with Kenobi. It's going to be a fun conversation. You're doing Star Wars trivia to celebrate. Nice. You know, I thought about doing Star Wars trivia, but we did that a couple of weeks ago. It was fun. We'll certainly do it again. But tonight's top 5 is you sharing your favorite moments from Star Wars. Not necessarily your favorite moments, but what do you love about Star Wars? May the 4th be with you has become this unofficial holiday, which I love so much. But what is it that you love about Star Wars? What is it that speaks to you about Star Wars that keeps you coming back for more, that gets you to celebrate it with your family, with your friends, to have these amazing unofficial holidays? It really is pretty remarkable that this is even a thing. I mean, think about this. 42 years ago, even earlier than that, George Lucas created this unforgettable mythology that has taken us all so many places. And, a lot of my friends I wouldn't know without Star Wars. And it's just tremendous. I'm very fortunate, very blessed to be able to celebrate it and share with all of you. So, top 5 things that we love about Star Wars. I actually don't have formal pictures for this one. I mean, I guess I could grab something up real quick, but yeah, I guess I can pull in some stuff. Why not? But the top 5 things I love about Star Wars is, well, the first thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to bring this in, I may have to resize it, so I apologize. First thing I want to bring in is this community. This community right here. Of course, you know these two. This is Corey Clubb, the co-creator of Coffee with Kenobi. That guy in the middle, I have no idea who he is. He has a beard. Interesting. And a very familiar sweatshirt, too. And then on the right is Tom Gross, the CWK newsman. These are my friends. Star Wars at its core is about friendship. It's about family. It's about togetherness. And it's very, very special to me that I get to celebrate it with my friends. So Greg, another friend of mine, says the humor always kind of comes at unexpected times as a way of being at the right place at the right time. Very true. I absolutely agree with that, Greg. I could not agree more. Very, very powerful stuff. David says Luke's saga is a modern myth full of classic archetypes of the hero's journey. Oh, I very much agree with that, David, and we'll certainly be talking about later in the show as well. So thank you so much for winning. It's great to see you here. LJ comes in and says, these guys are okay. Yeah, not bad. Not bad, yeah. LJ is another great guy. So fun to be able to, again, meet these wonderful people that are like Star Wars friends that become like family. Thank you so much, Craig. It is a wonderful community here, and you are a big part of that, as are all of you here. Tyler says, everyone has a character they can relate to and look up to. My sister loves Rey. My brother is very similar to Han Solo, and I aspire to be as wise and patient as Obi-Wan. That's a nice amalgamation of a lot of these characters. Very good. I put up this picture of these guys. This is actually from a show we did before the Rise of Skywalker opened in theaters. I had just gotten back from the premiere, and these guys hadn't seen the movie yet, and I tried really, really hard not to spoil anything, and I think that happened, because it's very important for me not to spoil things for people. I feel like that would be hypocritical. Eric says, hi. Hello, Eric. It's great to see you, dude. Always good to see you here on Facebook Live at Coffee with Kenobi. It's this chemistry, it's this friendship. It's these guys, it's community we have. It's Coffee with Kenobi, this community that we have built together. I'm trying to put the comments on them. I don't know why they're not showing up. Let's see. Because it's kind of adds to the show, I think. Well, while it's clocking and thinking about that, again, it's this community, it's this family. So that is my number 5 thing about it. There we go. Here we go. There's everybody. Mita says it's the perfect hero story. It shows how one can learn and grow from their experience and discover who they are meant to be. I agree. It's that idea of destiny, that idea that you have a purpose and that great things can happen. And I think that is very important, very, very powerful. Very good. So my next one, let's put up Blake's first. Collecting meaningful toys and artwork posters is so much fun to hunt for something you want on a shelf for a while. I agree. It's that thrill of the hunt is one of the things I love so much about collecting. It's invaluable. Brian says, watching the midnight premiere with good friends, yes, which is also why I put that picture up of Tom and Corey and I, for sure, because it's just got a lot of great memories. Star Wars has got a lot of great memories tied into it. Oh, this is a large one. Chris says, he mentions Ahsoka, the AT-AT, the fact that it started with a good versus evil theme, but turns to many, many gray areas, which gives perspective. I like that. The friendship themes, overcoming your internal obstacles with the help of friends and relationships, and the music. Oh, for sure. For sure. My next one, I'm going to bring in, I talked about my friends who are like family, but this woman is my family. This is my beautiful wife, Deanna. We, of course, this is a picture of us from the Rise of Skywalker premiere. I was very, very fortunate in December, as many of you know, to go to the Rise of Skywalker premiere, and I got to bring my wife, and it was just magic to me. I mean, I've been very lucky, very blessed to be a part of the Star Wars community for almost 7 years. In fact, next Monday, I believe, will be 7 years since Coffee with Kenobi started, which is wonderful. And so I've gotten to do a lot of great stuff, meet a lot of great people, have a lot of great friendships. But nothing beats the things that Coffee with Kenobi has done with me and with my family. And being able to bring Deanna to this experience. To introduce her to a lot of my Star Wars friends. To walk Hollywood together. It was just so much fun. So much fun. And, you know, my wife is incredibly fun. She's my best friend. She's gorgeous. And we had a blast. It was so cool. It was cool for me to see Star Wars through her eyes. So thank you, Deanna, so much for that and for allowing me to be able to make Coffee with Kenobi what it is because of your tireless support. So that's great. Star Wars, again, full of memories and great moments. Let's get back to some of the things that you all have as well. Finding kindred spirits among the franchise and making new friends and memories. Absolutely. Absolutely. Similar to what I just said, it gives you this chance to make friends, to make memories. I mean, all these collectibles that I have here in the office, you notice I don't have the green screen. I just have the old-fashioned Coffee with Kenobi Studios here. It just, I look around, I see memories of different things. Carrie says, hope, redemption, good versus evil, and the one that has recently resonated so strongly is the power of choice we see depicted through so many characters in the saga. Yeah, our choices really do define us, and I think that is a very, very important metaphorical journey that a good story will do. Video games. Literally spent thousands of hours on Star Wars video games, which have been an amazing time. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, Battlefront is something we've really had a blast with recently here at our house. It's also been an uncomfortable reminder that my reflexes aren't as good as they used to be, but I'm not giving up. The music, of course, the music in today's Clone Wars episode, the music in Revenge of the Sith, and a lot of these things are just, they really affect you. Like, they really kind of get down into your soul. Yeah, that first episode, oh yeah, so powerful. Greg says the characters, such a large and diverse range of beings, heroes, droids, and villains that really get you invested in the story and the outcome. Absolutely. The character is an integral part of this. I mean, that's what we resonate with. That's what speaks to us. Mary says the escapism at the original movies that then grew into such a familiar place to return to. Oh yeah, I agree. It's just like kind of being with old friends to a degree. Eric says, I'm not great at meeting new people. Star Wars friendships help me do that. Oh, that's really cool, Eric. I love that. Yeah. And similar to that, Mary says, friends and family sharing the journey of Star Wars together. Yes. Lisa, our CWK media specialist, by her own admission, is very much an introvert. In fact, I think it's fair to say, Lisa, that you are as much an introvert as I am an extrovert. But again, there's that balance, which is awesome. You know, it's a very, very fascinating, complex person that we are as human beings. Which, by the way, it's why I love Darth Vader so much. A lot of people said last week, "Why is Darth Vader your favorite character?" Well, it's more that Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader is my favorite character because of the depth, the complexity of who that character is and what he brings to the table. It's fascinating. It's Shakespearean. Yes, Greg, the music, unbelievable. The pacing that Kevin Kiner had of those episodes really has you holding your breath, as I mentioned earlier. Collecting the figures and more is great, as well as sharing them with live ones. All right, I very much agree. So I guess this is as good a time as any to do this. So I'm at an interesting crossroads here. You may have seen the unboxing video that Mason and I did a couple of days ago, where I revealed all of these awesome Black Series figures that I received from Hasbro. It's a free product. Hasbro was kind enough to send it out to me and a couple of other websites, different podcasts. And I got the first two waves of the Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary. I apologize for the glare there. I'll try to fix it with the lighting. But we ended up getting, we got 10 of them. We gave them away to some good friends, of course. But then what we also did was Mason and I divided them up. I kept this one. Lisa says, yes, I'm hiding in a closet right now. Well, that is definitely something that I am not doing. That's very opposite. Tyler says the collecting aspect. Again, I have so much fun collecting figures of my favorite characters and putting them on display. And my wife and my lightsaber collection is growing as well. Lightsabers are the best. All right, so I kept Luke in his snowspeeder outfit. The 6-inch Black Series one is great. And I kept this one. Now, the reason I kept Han Solo, I love Han Solo. Luke, I'm more of a Luke guy, but I love Han Solo. Obviously, I love Harrison Ford, which is actually another thing that I love about Star Wars. This is still in my top 5, but I'm just changing it so you can see a little bit better. But I'll just put this picture there just because when you have this picture, you put it up because it's great. But as many of you know, at the Rise of Skywalker premiere, I got to meet Harrison Ford. And it was absolutely unforgettable. It was one of the most wonderful experiences of my life. I talked about it a lot on Patreon. I may talk about it again on the regular show. But he was remarkable and just really cool. But I've always loved Harrison Ford. I've always loved Han Solo. So I kept this one. I'm going to try to, hopefully you can see it. But look at the likeness of Harrison Ford in this figure. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So I had to keep this one because I thought, I mean, it's the closest thing to Harrison. Now, I don't like opening figures. The head sculpts, yes, yes. Greg says collecting is the answer to the problem of the empty nest. Interesting theory. I like that. There's a lot of wisdom in that, Greg. Tyler says, I just got Han and Leia the other day. The head sculpts are great. They are great. So my son said, Daddy, you should open this on your show. What do you think? Should I open this? I mean, here's what's going to happen. If I don't open it, I'm going to display it on the wall just like this. If I do open it, I'm just going to display it somewhere in the studio still. I'll put the blaster in his hand. And again, because it's such a perfect likeness of Harrison Ford, that's the reason I'm tempted to. That's why it's extra special to me. But should I open it or should I not? I'll let you decide. By the end of the show, let me know if I should open this thing or if I should keep it sealed. Many of my, I mean, you saw the intro, of course. All my Kenner figures are open because that was before it was when I was a kid and I played with them. But now I collect them and display them. You've seen a lot of my other collectibles up there as well. Eric says to open. That's the first. I'm going to put this guy back here. Yep. So by the end of the show, we'll decide if I should open it or not. Eric says to open. Oh, I don't know, man. It's hard. This is not something I take lightly. Blake says the same thing. Blake says to open it. All right, that's 2-0. Is anyone out there gonna vouch for the collector in me that likes to keep things like they belong in a museum? Does anybody want to come to my aid for this? Come on, where are you? If you open it, you can look at it closer and admire the likeness better. Oh, I see what you did there. Eric. Normally I put these comments up on, but I'm having some challenges with my software where it's not quite clicking. Oh, then Blake says open it and send it to me. Carrie says, since it's your son's request to open it, oh boy, I'm noticing a pattern here. I'm noticing a pattern that people are going to want me to open this thing, right? So look at everyone pitching in and giving their expertise. I love it. So Eric, again, if you open it, you can look at it better. Greg says, open and become a figure photographer on Instagram. Ooh, interesting. That's true, but I'm not the world's greatest photographer. I'm not great with the lighting aspect of things. Blake, again, with the subtle send it to me. Not in caps at all, right? And Carrie says, is your son going to request to open it? Yes. There's no doubt about that. Greg says, open and become a photographer, as I mentioned. Christopher says, opening won't change how the figure looks. Yeah, I know, but I just kind of like how it looks like it's mint and packaged, like I could conceivably walk in and see it in a store. And yes, finally, Brian says it looks great on the blister card. It really does. And I'm not really so into buying multiple ones. I mean, sometimes I am. Tyler says he's an out-of-the-box collector, but those packages are super nice. I think that's kind of one of the things for me. The idea that how cool it looks inside the package. I just like that. I like that very much. Glenn's late because he was playing Battlefront. Hey, man, totally understand. Happy to have you here. Oh, so you can never go back once you do it. See, I know that, Chris. I hear you, man. That's why I'm having a hard time. Yes, you must do what you feel is right, of course. Yes. Brian says, don't do it. You're depriving the figures of oxygen by keeping them boxed. Well, that is certainly an interesting perspective. Interesting. Why else? I love it. Keep those comments coming. It seems like a few more people want me to open it, but there are a few people that want to keep it in the box too. I hate to have it back here because you can't really see it. Let's keep it right here for a little bit. All right. Yeah. Han Solo, Captain Millennium Falcon. The beautiful thing about this day, May the 4th, for me, and we've mentioned how sort of we've all been celebrating it. But for me, May the 4th is, and I posted this on Facebook, to me, Star Wars is about family. It's about hope. It's about believing in something that you can't see. It's about believing that even when things seem their worst, that there is good. There are people that will help you. There is a greater force that is out there looking for you. And as a man of faith, I love that aspect of it. I love the idea of family. I love the idea of community. I love the idea that family is sacred, and it's not always the family that is biological, but it's family that you choose as you are older. That's the thing, Glenn. If I do it, I'll do it live. I think that'd be cool. Let's all petition Hasbro to send A&Z another one to open the second to keep. Hey, that's not a bad idea, Chris. I like it. Chris is maybe working to become my agent. Very good. Very good. I am a little tempted to open it. I did see one recently. I think you can still buy them. I'll tell you what, though. One I am going to open is the Han Solo and Carbonite that they said is going to be an Amazon exclusive. That one looks really, really cool. Looks really, really cool. I tried to pull in this picture earlier on the last screen. Let me see if I'll pull it over here. No, that one's not pulling in for some reason. I don't know. Another reason I love Star Wars is this guy. This is, of course, George Lucas. This is the first premiere I went to was Solo, the Star Wars story, and pretty much closely into being on the red carpet. I turn around and I see George Lucas walking towards me, the George Lucas. And I say to my oldest, Peyton, I say, "There's George Lucas. There's George Lucas." And he goes, I know. And I just had this weird, wonderful calm inside of me. And this picture right here is when, there's a bunch of pictures of he and I talking, but George kind of kept to himself. We did talk for about 30 seconds. I thanked him for this mythology, for all the great opportunities that Star Wars has given me, and all the wonderful memories I have because of Star Wars. And then I asked for a picture, and he said, "You know what? I think they want me to keep moving along." And he had, as you can see, he had a handler that was looking at me very intensely, and he made sure to know that, to just let George be, and which of course I did. I mean, I thanked him, I pat him on the back, and that was it. So I got to talk to George Lucas. That's a memory. That's a moment. It's because of George Lucas that there is a May the 4th. It's why we say May the 4th be with you on this awesome day. Because of this amazing man and everything that he has done. And the thing that he is meant to so many of us, he has given us a sense of hope. He's given us a sense of wonder. And, hey, I am so thankful for him. Carrie says lightsabers. Lightsabers. Let's see. Lightsabers, the process of them, the designs, the constructing them, a Jedi's growth in facing fear, acknowledging weakness, and the storytelling aspects, I totally agree with that. There's actually a lot about the Force and about lightsabers that I've learned a lot more recently, for sure, as well. Tyler talks about the friends that he's made. I think it's crazy. Tyler, and there are a lot of other friends that Tom and I have and Corey have in this area that are awesome and that are just so close. It's amazing how close our Star Wars family is. Greg says ease of entry for an audience. You can come in even not having to know all the aspects and still enjoy the story and the struggles that unfold. I agree. Okay, so Eric says, I don't think I'd be able to speak if I met George. Well, I think it's because I met George that I was able to talk to Harrison and just have that calm as well, for sure. Blake says, community podcasts and the cons. I love being around awesome people who love what I love and being able to meet and hang out with awesome people like you, Dan, like I did in Chicago. That's right. Blake is an awesome guy. I really appreciate you, man. You've been such a great supporter of the show. And I was very, very happy that we got to meet and hang out a couple times at Celebration Chicago. And hopefully there'll be a celebration in August. It's hard to say. We'll just kind of see what happens there. Hey, May the 4th be with you, my friend. Speaking of former students, it's always cool to see my former students here. That makes me very, very happy. So we've got our community. We've got this mythology that George Lucas has created. We've got the hero's journey. We've got friendships. We've got podcasts and this online. We've got the messages that Star Wars has given to us. And we've just got these wonderful moments and memories and things that are just invaluable to me. I love it. There he is. There's Harrison. That is one of the pictures of Harrison and I. This is funny because Tom said Tom Gross said when he saw this picture of Harris and I talking, he knew that we were having a legitimate conversation. This wasn't just a hello, goodbye. I mean, I talked to him for a good 5 minutes about teaching, about Indiana Jones, about writing, about a lot of different things. And, as you know, well, I'm doing it now. I'm a bit of a guy that talks with his hands a lot. And so Tom Gross and joked and said that when he saw me with my hands and Harrison smiling like that he knew we were having a legitimate conversation. Something I will always treasure, for sure. Murray brings up a great point. Star Wars weekends in the past and celebration such a great opportunity to be with the entire positive fandom. Completely agree with that. I love this community. Star Wars weekends was great. That's how Aaron Harris and I got to be really good buddies. And then I met David Motters and a lot of other people because of that as well. It just fosters a lot of opportunities for so many of us. And I'm very, very grateful. I'm extremely grateful for that. Oh, what happened? Well, let's fix that. There we go. All right. So I think those are the main things. This is kind of a disjointed top 5, but that's okay. There's a lot of things coming up. Coming up next, we're going to be talking about some other aspects of Star Wars that I think are exciting, and that would be Star Wars news. Star Wars news. Yes. So in the world of Star Wars today, boy, it was really quite a day for Star Wars news, wasn't it? I mean, right off the bat, we got to see the final episode of the Clone Wars, which my mind is still kind of reeling over. We got to see a lot of great announcements. Shop Disney. Anybody try to get on Shop Disney today? That was very challenging. Hopefully, if you did, you used our affiliate link, which of course helps the show, which I certainly appreciate. But it was tough. I was in the shopping cart / checkout area on shopdisney.com for probably 4.5 hours. A lot of people trying to get that Star Wars key. There was some exclusive merchandise and T-shirts. The Ahsoka Tano Minnie Mouse Mouseketeer hat. I think that sold out in 10 to 15 seconds, which is staggering. I know that they're going to put more out there, and Ashley took to Instagram to apologize that it took so very long. Yeah, exactly. Shop Disney was frustrating today. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, everybody loves it, and you'd think that it worked out better, but who knows? I mean, Disney has a way of making things right and making things work out, so I'm optimistic that will happen. We'll see. What I wanted was the Starbucks You Were There mugs, and they had one of Hoth, of Bespin, and Dagobah, and I got them. But it took me 4.5 hours, a lot of patience, a lot of should I refresh, should I not refresh kind of stuff. It was very, 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 very challenging. Yeah, it was frustrating. I hope that they make it right. Tyler, talking about Clone Wars, says the finale was up there with Breaking Bad and Gravity Falls as one of the best series finales ever. Wow, I agree. It was beautiful. That and the finale of Rebels were both really, really great too. Glenn, don't worry, man. I think, like I said, Ashley and her universe will work tirelessly to, I'm sure, get more of those out there to people because people want to see them. I mean, for sure, they're great stuff. They are great stuff. So that was big. And then the virtual reality Vader experience is coming to PlayStation 4, which is really, really cool. That means I got her Baby Yoda, which is great. I ordered the Black Series, the Childs. I'm looking forward to seeing that. In fact, I thought I'd get it today, but no luck. But that's okay. We got major news about the future of Star Wars in cinema, which I'm sure a lot of you saw, and that is that Taika Waititi is going to co-write and direct a new Star Wars film. Boom! Very, very exciting. Awesome, awesome, awesome news. I mean, Taika Waititi is great. He's smart. He's charming. He's the voice of IG-11, but he's so much more than that. The director of Thor Ragnarok and a lot of other things. Things We Do in the Shadows is supposed to be a really, really fun TV show. And I'm thrilled. Now, people have been asking and wondering, is this going to be standalone? Is this going to be part of a sequential trilogy or duology? I don't know. Nobody knows because they haven't said it yet. So when they do, we'll be sure to spread the word for sure on Coffee with Kenobi. Yeah, Vader Immortal, but it was written by David S. Goyer. I never liked anything he has written. Okay, really? I thought, didn't he write Dark Knight, if his memory serves, which is pretty great. So I don't know. Maybe what else has he written, Tyler? You have to refresh my memory on that. We played Vader Immortal at Celebration Chicago, and it is fantastic. Fantastic. I will be sure to get that for PlayStation, for the PS4. It's pretty mind-blowing. It's pretty mind-blowing. It means it says it might be a standalone. It probably is. It probably will be. But I really don't know. I really don't know. But I know that just the fact that we're going to get something like that is exciting. And, for me, if it's confirmed by Lucasfilm and it's on StarWars.com or Disney shares it, then I'm going with it and I feel comfortable talking about it on the show. And so that's great. That's really, really great news. The new relaunch of Dr. Aphra came out today, issue number 1, which is exciting. And I didn't get a chance to read that yet, but a lot of people are excited. And of course, the Mandalorian behind the scenes sort of pseudo documentary / interviews of the behind the scenes of the first season of The Mandalorian is out, and it is spectacular. See, episode 1 is out already. Episode 2 will be out very, very shortly. And it's great. I don't want to spoil too much about it, just like I don't want to talk a lot about the Clone Wars. There's a lot there to like and a lot there to be excited about. One quick thing I want to point out really quickly. Don't forget the Star Wars book that I co-wrote with Pablo Hidalgo and Cole Horton comes out October 20th. Be sure to pre-order yours now. It's going to have a lot of great conversation fodder for Star Wars for sure. There's a lot of great stuff from the world of Star Wars that I think you're going to love. There's a lot of curated essays there that the 3 of us did. And I can't say a ton about it, but I'm very excited to see what this contributes to our conversation. It's so cool. Documentary was awesome today. Can't wait to see the rest. I agree, Blake. It's really, really cool. He helped with it. Nolan did the heavy lifting. He wrote Batman vs. Superman, Man of Steel, and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. I will say, this we won't get too far off the beaten path, but I really did like Batman vs. Superman. I'm one of the few that apparently did. I didn't like Man of Steel, but yeah, it was pretty good. But I highly recommend Vader Immortal. I think you'll really dig it. It's a really good documentary. It is weekly, Eric. It is a weekly documentary for sure. All right. So let's go ahead and go on to the next segment. Ask Danzy. This is your chance to ask me anything Star Wars related. We probably got about 5-10 minutes left of the show. But if you have any questions about the Star Wars mythology, about podcasting, about my interview with Ashley today, anything, just feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer any questions that I can. LJ says I would have been happy for one episode of that documentary. I can't believe we get that every week for a while. Yeah, I know. I agree, LJ. It's really, really cool that they had the foresight and wherewithal to record something like that for us, because it really is spectacular. There's really not a lot. There's been a lot like that out there. We get to consistently have it. It's kind of like Rebels Recon that we used to get after every episode of Rebels that Andy Gutierrez did, but it's longer, and we get to see a lot of interviews with a lot of the characters, and the cast and the crew and Dave, of course. Your favorite piece of Star Wars music? It kind of depends on my mood, but the ominous, dramatic irony that is the soundtrack to Revenge of the Sith is really, really great, especially when Anakin is sitting in the Jedi council chamber by himself, and that music is escalating. Obviously, the main theme really thrills me for sure. I really like the Rise of Skywalker soundtrack. To the interview with Ashley, it is on the page. It's on YouTube, it's on Spreaker, it's on Stitcher, and it's on Coffee with Kenobi. Anywhere you can find podcasts, of course, iTunes, Google Play, for sure. It's great. It's fun. It's the 4th time I've interviewed Ashley, but the first time in about a year and a half. So it was great to be able to chat with her again. Do I think we'll get another animated series soon? I hope so. I'm hoping to get an announcement, and that's purely, I have no insight on that. It's purely my hope, my optimism that we will get some kind of an announcement. Because I feel like, there's nothing on the horizon, so I hope we get to find out something, but they weren't going to do anything to overshadow the big announcement today about the new film stuff, which makes sense. What emotion do you feel with the ending of the Clone Wars? Spoiler free, I'll say it gave me the same feeling Episode 3 did, which was beautiful. Similar, I will say when it started, I really, really tried really hard to kind of put it off watching it. Like, I woke up, I made Mason breakfast, I had breakfast, we ate as a family, and then I started putting away dishes, and I just found myself kind of procrastinating watching, because I knew I didn't want it to end, You know what I mean? I just didn't want to have the end of that series. And then watching it was great again, that tension, that excitement. And when it was done, I put my fist in the air and I said, yes, because I was so excited by the ending. And it was beautiful and poetic. LJ says, if they were to write another Star Wars story based on a legacy character, what would you like to see? You know, that's a great question. I wish that we could see Ahsoka on the silver screen. That's what I would like to see. I've never really been interested in a Boba Fett standalone. It doesn't really do much for me. Obi-Wan we're obviously going to see in the Disney Plus series. I'd love to see Count Dooku's story of him growing up, like we got to see in the audiobook, Dooku Jedi Lost, which is great. That's good. I'll have to think about that a little bit more. I really will. I'd love to see a sequel to Solo, of course. I mean, I think there's plenty of richness there. When can I keep track of the whereabouts of future Comic-Cons? I would love to go to them and meet the actors to go or are featured. Well, that's a good question. I mean, Comic-Cons, it seems like they're just all over the place. New York, Chicago, San Diego. There's a lot of local ones. But I feel like if you just type in Comic-Con or just kind of go on Twitter and just follow certain sites that you like, whether it's Coffee with Kenobi or others that follow along, I think there's a lot of stuff there. Indiana Comic-Con is a great one. For sure. Mita says, which one is more cute, the Porg or the child? Well, the child, of course. The Porgs are great, but the child, whoa, I mean, took the world by storm. And seeing my son react to the child is pretty great, too. I love it. I love it. Well, hey, thank you so much, everybody. It's always wonderful to be here, and it's really kind of you to allow me to share in your celebration of May the 4th with you. Again, I want to encourage you to pick up the Star Wars book, available October 20th, written by myself, Pablo Hidalgo, and Cole Horton, so that you can experience some fascinating things. They're going to really be a great conversation for you as you continue your study and appreciation and enjoyment of the Star Wars saga. I'm very, very proud to write it. It was fun for me. It just meant the world to me. And it means the world to me to be able to spend time with you here at Coffee with Kenobi on Facebook Live, as well as on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Pinterest, and on YouTube. I love being able to share Coffee with Kenobi and my enthusiasm in the saga with each and every one of you. It's been so great. I can't wait to see what Lucasfilm has planned for the next couple of weeks for the summer, and then hopefully we'll get some information about Celebration really, really soon, because that would be nice to finally find out about that, because I want to know, and I know that a lot of you want to know as well. So until next time, everybody, again, thank you so much. I am, of course, your host, Dan Z, at coffeewithkenobi.com. Be sure to listen this week. Yes, we've got the interview with Ahsoka Tano, and I'm trying to switch back to my main camera, but we're having a bit of a software challenge here, so I apologize for that. We've got the interview with Ashley Eckstein, which is there live now. We've got a lot of other great things going on where you've got your chance to share the excitement of Star Wars with us through something exciting that we recorded, and that was our feature-length commentary of Star Wars: A New Hope. Myself, Corey, and Tom recorded that one last night. It's going to be out later this week, and it will be great. It syncs up to watching A New Hope on Disney Plus. So I look forward to sharing that with everybody. Again, thank you, everybody. I'm your host, Dan Z. Looking forward to chatting with you all in the very near future. Have a great rest of your May the 4th. And, be sure to have a piece of May the 4th cake if you have May the 4th cake. So fun. Thanks again, everybody, for joining me. This is the podcast you are looking for. I begin to apologize. It's so weird that this is looking forward to your book, My Birthday to Present to Myself this October. Thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate that very much. Trying to wrap up here, but the system's not letting me, so I guess we're stuck. I guess you're stuck chatting with me for a little bit longer. How about that?